Germany was having trouble, what a sad, sad story. Needed a new leader to restore its former glory. Where, oh where was he? Where could that man be? We looked around, and then we found the man for you and me. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Deutschland is happy and gay. We're marching to a faster pace. Look out, here comes the master race. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Rhineland's a fine land once more. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Watch out, Europe, we're going on tour. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Winter for Poland and France. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Springtime, 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 springtime. Come on, Germans, go into your dance.
I was born in Dusseldorf, and that is why they call me Rolf.
Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party. Heil myself, heil to me. I'm the crowd who's out to change our history. Heil myself, raise your hand. There's no greater dictator in the land. Everything I do for you.
Yes, you do.
If you're looking for a war, here's World War II. Heil myself, raise your beer.
Jawohl.
There's every hotsy-totsy Nazi stand and cheer. I was just a paper hang. No one more obscure. Got a phone call from the Reichstag, told me I was Führer. Germany was blue, oh, what to do? Hitched up the pants and conquered France. Now Deutschland smiling through. It ain't no mystery, it's politics or history. The thing you gotta know is everything is showbiz. I myself watch my show. I'm the German Ethel Merman, don't you know? We are crossing borders, the new world order is here. Make a real big smile, everyone sing Heil to me. Wonderful me. And now it's springtime for Hitler and Germany.
steps, the new step today. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. U-boats are sailing once more. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. You know, soon we'll be going to war.
That I just saw a dancing Hitler. It's supposed to be a flop. They did good, I guess.
Well,
It doesn't turn out to be a flop. Why would that not turn out to be a flop?
because it turns out to be good.
But it's,
You're trying to make, are you sure? It's supposed to be funny. It turned out to be good. It's because it's
So, how in the world did you come up with the idea for that movie?
Well, around the time I was working on Get Smart in 1965, I was also working for another small-time variety show. And so one day, the producer of the show comes up to me and he goes, Mel, you know, what's our next big skit? What are we going to do next? You know, I really had no idea at the time what we were going to do, so I told him, you know, I fed him some BS and I was like, you know, we'll do a musical. It's called Springtime for Hitler. And he asked me, you know, who's in it, how's it go, all this stuff, and I said, well, you know, we don't really know. We'll figure it out, though. So the next day, I left the show for good. Well, actually, I was fired again, but, you know, not a big deal. So, and then a couple weeks later, I met Gene Wilder, who was, you know, an up-and-coming talent at the time that I kind of saw. I always thought I had a pretty good eye for talent, you know, and I saw he's a pretty gifted writer, so we started doing some work together. And then a couple years later, in about like 66 or 67, I was in Hollywood trying to think of my next movie, and I thought back to that title. You know, I was thinking Springtime for Hitler. Well, you know, I can't really think of anything more ridiculous and offensive and rude, and in fact, it's perfect. So, you know, I started writing the lyrics and the music, you know, Springtime for Hitler and all that stuff. And then the next thing I did was I created a character for Gene Wilder to work around, because, you know, I really wanted him to be a part of it. And it kind of worked itself back from there. And, you know, when I first started the movie, I started writing the movie, I really didn't intend for it to be, you know, really that rude or offensive or anything, but it just turned out that way.
Over the years, you've had to deal with many critics who call your work controversial. They say your comedy work is not funny, but instead rude, offensive, or vulgar. They say it's inappropriate that you find humor in such tragedies as the Holocaust and World War II. What do you say to all those people who make these accusations?
Well, you know, I have plenty to say to these people. First of all, you know, I have tons of fans who would disagree with them and see my work as what I want them to see, just comedy, not some controversial political message or anything. Second, the fact that I've been accused of vulgarity, well, that's just bullshit. And third, and most importantly, anyone who says this, and any of those critics, really obviously cannot tell the difference between tragedy and comedy. Let me clarify. Tragedy, that's when I cut my finger. But comedy, that's when someone falls in an open sewer and they die. just kidding. And you know, people forget that really 90% of my jokes are me making fun of myself, you know, and all my flaws. I'm not really trying to, you know, be mean to anyone. I'm just stepping back and laughing at myself. And I think it's really important that people are able to laugh at themselves, because really when it comes down to it, comedy's just another defense against the horrors of the universe. And you know, life literally abounds in comedy if you just look around. And that's what makes comedy such a powerful tool. You know, rhetoric, it really doesn't get you anywhere. Because if you look at Hitler and Mussolini, guys like that, they're really just as good as anyone at rhetoric. But if you can bring those guys down with comedy, you know, you can do anything.
Is that what you think the producers was such a successful movie? Did it help people to laugh at Hitler, become more laid back, and even laugh at themselves?
Well, ironically enough, the producers was a huge flop at the box office. Because I think people were really just incredibly surprised by the fact that I had the nerve to do something like that. And they was, you know, unprepared for what I was going to do. And my philosophy has always been that bad taste is really just saying the truth before it should be said. And unfortunately, that's what I did with that movie. You know, even 25 years after World War II and the Holocaust,